Hey guys, Deggers here from Go Boxing TV, and this morning I just want to talk about Tony Bellew's interview on TalkSport, where he told, it was a great interview by the way, before I get into it, it was a great interview, and I do recommend that you go and find it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that TalkSport will have done a little clip of it, and have a listen. It was brilliant, it was funny, and I think Tony Bellew just talked absolute common sense, and I agree with pretty much everything that he said. One of the funny things is Jamie O'Hara, little short fella, Tony said to him, if he retires, you're 6'3", mate. And obviously he's talking about Tyson Fury, saying that he's going to retire now after that explosive fight with Dillian Whyte the weekend, explosive knockout from the uppercut. And I have to agree with Tony. I think that Fury will not retire. That's not going to be the last we see of him, because I just think that whoever wins out of Usyk and AJ, they're going to be calling him out, and they're going to want that undisputed. And so, you know, that's going to be too much of a big historic heavyweight clash in the making for Fury to refuse. And as much as I rate Fury, as much as I will openly say right now, he is the greatest of this era at the moment, I just think that if he really wants to cement that in history, then he doesn't want to have it hanging over him, the fact that Usyk or AJ, whoever it is that comes through, is going to be calling him out, and he refuses. I just don't think that that's going to happen. So if he really wants to cement it in history, to go down and be the greatest in this era, I think he has to have at least one more fight, and it needs to be the winner of that clash right there. Now, to just a few things that Tony said, like to back this up, like if you look at the resume of both fighters, I personally think that AJ has got the better resume. I just think over the last few years, he has fought a better quality opponent than what Tyson Fury has over the years. Obviously, AJ's got the attributes, you know, he's got that size, he's a big heavyweight. We know he can punch. Okay, yeah, his chin is questionable. We get that. But I do think that AJ would give Tyson Fury a much better test and a much better challenge. It would be a better matchup than certainly the Dillian Whyte fight. And then, of course, Usyk. If Usyk beats AJ, that is one awesome clash, because arguably Usyk and Fury have probably got the best feet in boxing. The way they move around the ring, both of them, boxing IQ, the way they can switch up and change during the course of a 12-round fight is unbelievable. So that would be an incredible matchup. Obviously, Usyk is a southpaw, so that would probably make it a little bit awkward for Fury. And obviously, Fury's got the size. Usyk is the much smaller man, so that's what goes against him. But either way, whoever comes through that fight, they're going to be calling Fury out. And I think that, you know, Fury will come out of retirement for it. I honestly do. Now, looking at Fury's resume, you go back, obviously, yes, he's beat Klitschko, AJ beat Klitschko. You could argue Fury beat Klitschko when he was more in his prime. AJ fought him when he was towards the end of his career. That's fair enough. I'm not even going to dispute that. That is completely fair enough. However, I think the only other man that you can say Fury fought that was at the top of his game at the time is Deontay Wilder. People say, and Tony was talking about this, about saying like that at the moment he's still number 2, even though he's just lost 3 fights on the bounce. He's the biggest puncher in heavyweight history. And I agree with Tony. I just don't see it. How you can compare the likes of Deontay Wilder to people like Mike Tyson, George Foreman, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, all these people in history, throughout the history of heavyweight boxing, that fought other great top quality opponents. Again, when you compare that to who Deontay Wilder has fought, who has he fought other than Tyson Fury? He knocked out Luis Ortiz. But again, that's, Luis Ortiz, like, pretty much an old man in terms of boxing, in boxing terms. And I just think, like, again, like, you just look at the resume. Who has he fought? He hasn't fought anyone. So, to get back to it, I just think that Tony Bellew, what he said was bang on. I agree with it all. And, yeah, I just can't see Tyson Fury retiring off the back of that, taking nothing away from him. He is currently the best in this era, but let's see what happens between Usyk and AJ. And I honestly think that we will be seeing Tyson Fury against the winner of that matchup. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm interested to know. This channel is in its early stages, so the more you comment, the more you hit that thumbs up, the more you share this for me, the better this channel will grow and the more I can put into it. So I would really appreciate any subs, any thumbs up, any shares from you guys. Please comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next video. It's all appreciated. Take care. See you soon.